Good morning, my crafty friends. Welcome to my Friday Coffee and a Card Live. It is Friday, April 25th, 2025, and I am once again blessed to be here with you. My name is Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. I have been an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 28 years now, and I love what I do. Our weather continues to be cloudy and overcast, temperatures in the mid-70s, rain now and then. Honestly, I'm liking it. It is kind of perfect spring weather. I don't mind the clouds for a few days. This whole week looks a little cloudy, and I will be looking forward to sunshine again, but that is okay. It is spring. I am here to help you find the joy of card making and paper crafting, to give you tips and tricks to make that easier and more fun for you, and to encourage you to send out all of your beautiful creations to others to make their day. Please be sure to leave me a hello in the comments if you're watching. I'm going to see if I'm in the right place, because for, once again, weird things, but nope, I am there. It doesn't say Crazy Stamping Lady up there like it did the other day. It says public. I don't know why it changes. I'm doing something different maybe, but I am here right where I should be. So please give me a hello in the comments if you pop on so I know you stopped by. And if you're watching later, let me know that too. Just say replay, and then any comments you'd like to leave. I love to hear from you. Excuse me. As always, I will be drawing from all of the comments on this video and giving away the project that we make today. So be sure to comment as many times as you like. I love to know what you think. If you leave questions, I'll be sure to get back to you and answer them. Hi, Shar, glad you're here this morning. Any comments left today through midnight tomorrow, the 26th, will be entered for a chance to win the card we make. And congratulations to the winner of my last card, Nancy Clark. That is on its way to you in the mail. Thank you so much for watching and commenting. Yeah. Oh, also, if you can share my video, if you can share me to a crafty group or to your home page or to a crafty page, or just share me to a friend, and it would make me happy. That gives me exposure I wouldn't otherwise have. I really appreciate when you do that. And yeah, if you do that, let me know, and I'll give you a bonus entry toward today's card. Okay, I think that's it. Let me take you around here. You'll see my grayness. It is a little gray out there, but look at the green. I saw a couple of my daylilies starting to blossom today, so I am extremely excited about that. I'm going to take you down to my table. Hopefully this will be in the right place, right where I want you. This is me, Maureen Rolfes, the Crazy Stamping Lady. My blog is crazystampinglady.blogspot.com. My email is crazystampinglady@gmail.com. My Facebook is facebook.com/crazystampinglady, right where you're finding me right now. My YouTube is under my name, Maureen Rolfes, but I searched the other day and it does also come up under Crazy Stamping Lady, so yay to that. If you're watching my YouTube, I would appreciate it if you like it and follow, because that really helps me to get my channel out there going. I am transferring all of my Facebook videos over there, and eventually I will start maybe doing lives from YouTube, so that would be great. Shop with me at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net. And again, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Tennessee in the United States. Reminder about our current rewards program. Every online order you place of $20 or more will automatically receive 10% in rewards on a future purchase. The rewards are redeemable for 1 year after you earn them, but you can use them on your very next purchase and use them on your very next purchase, or you can accumulate them for that year for something big, whatever works for you. To get your account, go to stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net to shop. Do shop now. The first time after you set up your account is going to ask you to opt in to the rewards program. Please do that, because if you don't, you can still shop, but you won't get the rewards. All right, no cards to share today, so we are going to move right along. The paper pumpkin sale is over. I took advantage of it and got a couple fun things. But today is also the last day of free shipping on orders of $75 or more. That is a great deal, you guys. That shipping really adds up. And if you can get free shipping on your order right now, that is amazing. So don't forget, today is the last day. I would hate to have you miss out on it. I have to get my order placed. I've been adding to it, and now today I got to get mine in too. Free monthly card class. Place an order with me in the month of April that qualifies, and you will get a free kit and card class from me. A $50 order will get you 3 free card kits, a $75, 3 free card kits plus a bonus project. $100 gets you 3 free cards, a bonus project, and a half a pack of an embellishment. Those will come to you in the mail. They'll be mailed out by May 1st. And then on Monday, May 12th at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time, you can come right back here where we are now, and I will have a free class where we put those projects together. This happens automatically, so just place your order. Do it now while you get free shipping today. That would be fantastic, and you will earn that kit from me. All orders that are smaller than that will receive a handmade card from me as a thank you in the month. And all orders, no matter how big or small, will be entered into my monthly prize drawing. My In Color Club. Thank you to those who have signed up already. I am offering this again. This is my 11th year of offering it. I did do a little change up. So we have some options this year that we haven't had before. Because of the increase of cardstock, I had decided to only give out 4 sheets of the color of cardstock each month rather than the full pack. So for 4 sheets of cardstock, an ink pad, an ink refill, a Stampin' Write marker, 8 sheets of the Designer Series paper, 2 yards of the faux linen ribbon, 30 In Color flat pearls, and some bonuses that I offer, I was going to go with that. And the cost for that was $33. And if you need it shipped to you, it was $10 priority mail for $43. I had a couple people ask about getting a full package of cardstock. So in order to get the full pack of cardstock and cover the cost of the cardstock and the shipping and the handling, you would have to add $14 to whatever item you choose. So if you were choosing this option 1 at $33, and you wanted to add the full pack rather than the 4 sheets, you would just add $14 to that, and that would give you your new total. If you need the priority shipping, it would be $43, and then you would just add $14 to that if you want the full pack. Option 2 adds on the blends. So it's $13 to cover the cost of the blends. So the total amount would be $46. If you want the full pack of cardstock, you would just add on $14 to that. If you got the shipping on it, it would be $56, and you would add on $14 to that. So I hope that makes sense to you. I would love to have a few more of you sign up. I want to get these ordered on the first day the catalog goes live. So if you can order up before the 5th of May, that would be great, and let me know so I am set to go. But I will keep this club open till May 31st, so we can do that. It's a 5-month club, and each month you will get one of the In Colors. All of the products will coordinate with that In Color. So Secret Sea, Darling Duckling, Cloud Cover, Timid Tiger, and Strawberry Slush are the colors this year, and they are beautiful. I am also going to be putting this on my blog, so you can check it out there, and I will be emailing it out to my email list again with the updates on it. So be aware of that. If you've already signed up, and there are quite a few of you, I will be contacting you individually with an email to see if you want to opt for the full package of cardstock rather than the 4 sheets, and then that will be up to you. Yay! All right, mini catalog, annual catalog, going away. Last day to order from them is May 5th. After that, there will still be a ton of product available, probably out on the last chance list. But last chance is only while supplies last, so don't forget that. Check it out. Last chance list has a ton of great deals on it. We're going to talk about one of them today. And if you can combine that great deal with the free shipping at the $75 level, that is a win, trust me. So, mini catalog, annual catalog. Today we're going to be playing with, out of the annual catalog, the Hot Air Balloon set. Now this is on page 77. It's a set that's been around a little while, so it came back in this catalog, and when that happens, they make it a little bit smaller, but that also makes it a little easier to overlook. But this is an amazing set, guys. It was originally $50 if you bought the stamp set and the dies separately. $50. If you bought them together in a bundle, it was $45, but that's no longer available, so now it would be $50. They are both reduced to $12 each. So instead of $50, you'll be paying $24 if you get this bundle. This is an amazing deal, guys. I love this set. I am so happy I got it. I've used it a few times online. I've used it many times offline. And we're going to play with it today and have some fun with our sketch challenge. Annual catalog goes live on May 6th. Till then, I can't show you what's inside, but you may have received yours already. So that's really cool. On May 6th, I will be putting out my flyer about my designer series paper shares again, and it'll have pictures of all of the papers that we will be using. Let's move that along. Okay, guys, let's play. Today's sketch challenge is our sketch challenge 25. We have been doing this for over 2 years. It's sketch challenge 25 on the 25th in 2025. So maybe that's a lucky number. I don't know. But this is the sketch challenge that we are going to be working with today. I will be placing this pinned to the top of my Facebook page when I'm done, and also putting out a blog post about it in the next day or so. And I would love if you joined us. My sketch challenge just gives you an opportunity to be creative and come up with your best card using this sketch very loosely. So you do not have to use it exactly like it is. You could do the sketch this way if you wanted, which I think would be honestly really cool. I haven't played with that, but that is a great sketch. I am doing mine vertically today, just like this. And here is my recipe. So I will bring this recipe back out at the end, because this recipe shows you all of the pieces that I cut to make my card today. So I'm going to move that out of the way for now, but I will be bringing it back on, and I will post it with a picture of today's cards in the comments after we are done. All right, I'm going to set this here to the side. This is the bundle we are using, the Hot Air Balloon Bundle. It comes with all these balloon pieces to put your hot air balloons together, as well as just a note to lift you up, hang in there, wish big, and up, up and away, hooray, it's your birthday. And then in here are all of these dies that cut out all the different balloons, as well as many pieces to embellish them. And then these are the ones we're going to be using today. So I'm going to grab these out because we are going to be cutting several pieces out. I'm actually using the dies more than the stamp set today, because I think the last card I did online with this, I used basically the stamp set and not the dies. So, okay, so here's the 5 pieces we're going to be cutting out today. I also cut out ahead of time some clouds. So there's 2 different clouds in here, as well as some of the baskets for the bottom of my balloon, because I'm just cutting those out of plain cardstock. So let's move these out of the way. Again, each of those is only $12, so that's $24 basically for that bundle. An amazing, amazing deal. Let's see where I want to start. I am going to grab my pieces for this. And the paper we're using is the beautiful bokeh paper. This is continuing. It is not going away. So that is really cool, but it is amazingly beautiful. And every design has that gorgeous bokeh look to it. I hope you can see that on camera. That little kind of bubbly or fluffy look. Perfect for with the hot air balloons. It just reminds me of bubbles or clouds or things in the sky. So I chose to use paper from this designer series paper for my card today as we do our sketch challenge. Inside of my envelope, I have lots of pieces. Let me make sure I got them all. I do. I have a basic white envelope. I have a basic white card base. That's an A2 base, so it is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have 3 little clouds. Let's see if I can get those. 3 little clouds that I cut out ahead of time that we'll be using and adding to our design. 2 little baskets, whoa, for my hot air balloon, right there. And this little banner piece. This is also in the dies. We're going to use this little banner piece. Now this banner piece does fit on to the hot air balloon. So you can have that going right across the hot air balloon when you cut it out. But I'm going to be using it as a sentiment a little bit differently than it would on this large hot air balloon there. Okay, then we have other pieces. So let's see if I can figure these out for you as we go so you know what I'm talking about. For my layers, we have a piece that is 4 inches by 4 inches. Now this layer has tons of different little colors on there, and I loved that look. I just thought it was so pretty. So we're going to be using this on our card. Then we have a layer that is 4 1/4 by 1 inch. That's going to be a layer on our card. And then this layer is not on the sketch. So the 2 layers I've showed you already are this one here and this one here. This is an extra one I'm adding because remember, you can use this sketch loosely and add to it however you want. So I cut a piece that was a 1/2 inch by 4 1/4, and we're going to be using that also. And then I have a piece of the Balmy Blue bokeh paper. And this piece is, let me see if I can find my measurement, 3 by 3.5. Now, this has those beautiful dots on one side, and then it just has kind of a sketchy blue and white design on the other. And because I'm going to have this mimic my sky, I am going to just be using kind of this sketchy side. Although I think this would be beautiful too, but I've chosen to use that on our card. This is another layer that I have added. So this is a layer of Calypso Coral, and this is 3 1/8 by 3 3/8, and I'll explain to you why I'm adding it when I get to that point. And then we have 2 little banners of DSP. These are 1 inch by 1 1/4, and 1 banner of DSP that is 1 inch by 1 1/2. And then we have some scraps here to cut out other pieces. So let's do that right away, and then we'll have all the pieces for our card ready to go together. So I'm going to grab my cut and emboss machine, and we are going to cut out, actually the first thing I'm going to do is lay some wax paper down. I showed you this not so long ago, how to use wax paper to cut out your dies to help the little pieces fall out better. So we're going to use that, and I'm going to grab my smaller piece of the Calypso Coral bokeh and lay it right on top of there. And out of this piece, we are cutting out this trim piece for the balloon. We're cutting out the base of one of the balloons, the actual balloon itself, and we're cutting out the basket for one of the balloons. And I think that is all that we're cutting out of here. So we're going to place those 3 pieces on there. Now you can see this one here and the basket both have a lot of little pieces that have to fall out. So that is why I am using the wax paper underneath there. Now you could place these onto adhesive sheets if you wanted, but I'm going to do my adhesive on them a little different today, and I will show you that in just a minute. But adhesive sheets always work well for something like this that has all those little intricate pieces on it. So let's see how this cut out those 3. I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. And we have this little piece here, and you can see it here. And now by doing that and having that wax paper, I can just kind of pop out all those little pieces on there with no trouble. Look at that. And this is really intricate, this one. So I'm going to pull off that wax paper that sticks to the back, and with it came almost all of my pieces. All right. So this is one piece we're going to be using on our balloon. Tiny, tiny little pieces out of it. And then on our other section here, kind of the same thing. I'm just going to pop those out pull my wax paper strip off of the back, like that. And then we have that. And then here is the balloon piece. That really didn't need it, but since I was cutting it out with the others, we did it. Let me get rid of all these little pieces here into my trash, which I keep handy right below my desk here. Okay, and then we'll get rid of these because we are done with them. And I am going to now cut out a couple more pieces. So let's grab this one more time. And on this yellow, I am going to cut out this large balloon, hot air balloon. And actually, under the other piece, I'm going to grab another piece of wax paper. So I just keep this envelope of wax paper strips right by my dies, so it's nice and handy when I want to use them. I'm going to do this a little differently. I'm going to place the wax paper at the top there, put my wax paper right underneath the area that I'm going to cut out this more intricate layer right here. And then this big one that doesn't need it as much, I'll just lay this down right here, and it doesn't matter if the wax paper is completely under that or not. And we're going to run these through. Hear all that crunching and cracking. First time I heard that, I thought I broke my machine, but it didn't. It's actually just the way it makes noise. Okay, we're going to cut out. Here is our little heart balloon edges. Look at that. Look how perfectly, again, tiny, skinny little lines. And they came out perfectly because of that wax paper, just like that. And then here's the big one that didn't necessarily need the wax paper, but there is some of it on the back. We're going to grab that. Okay, let's get rid of the rest of these scraps. So that is all the cutting we're going to be doing right now. We have lots of pieces for our balloons now. And this is going to be just piecing them together and making our design. So this and this and this are going to go back out of the way. Okay, so let's put some of this together. I think the first thing I'm going to do is stamp my sentiments. So let me grab everything that's going to need some stamping on. And we're going to use Azure Afternoon for this. And on my little banner here, I am going to stamp the Wish Big sentiment. So I'm just going to tap it till it's inked and stamp that right onto my banner. Like that. And then I'm going to grab my inside sentiment, which says, "Up and away, hooray, it's your birthday." And we're going to ink that up. And I'm going to put that on the inside of my card, upside down, just so it's a little bit closer to me as I stamp it. Up over here. Just like that. And then I'm going to stamp that also. Whoops! I just lost one of my dies. Let me get it before I actually lose it and put it in my magnetic thing. Over here to the side. So, okay. So we're going to ink up that up and away, hooray, it's your birthday. And I'm going to also place that on to my envelope, just like that. And then I think we're done with the stamping. Now I'm making the card today exactly like my prototype card. Sometimes I change it up, but I really like the way it turned out. But I did make one difference on my prototype. So stick with me till the end and I'll show you what I did, because it's going to be a card for my grandson. Okay, let's move my envelope back up over here. Bring our card back, make sure it's opening the right way before we start decorating it. We're going to place this large piece of the Bokeh multicolor right on here to the front of my card. So this layer here is the same as this little mint layer on my template that I have. And I'm just going to use seal for the back of this. I think out of all of these, and I love all of them in here, but I think this was my favorite piece that had all those different colors like that. And then you can decide how you want it on your card, but I'm going to put the more yellow portion down to the bottom, just like that. And you're going to just center it onto the card like it is on the template here. Then I'm going to take a piece of Azure Afternoon. This is again 1 inch by 4 1/4, and we're going to lay this over the top of that, leaving about an inch white at the top. So let's just get some seal on here. Hope you guys are having a great day. It is a good Friday for me. I got a lot done already this morning. I have a lot more to do before the day is out, but that is okay. I'll get it done, I think. Yesterday I had a horrendous headache, and today that is gone, so I am thankful. Okay, there is that. And then this is the extra piece. So you can see here, this is this piece, this is the black piece. Now I have a piece of the Bokeh in Calypso, and I'm going to use this just as another stripe on there. Just when I put my pieces together, it seemed a little empty with all that blue. So take advantage of the sketch, move it around, make it yours, add or take away, turn it a different direction. This is just a jumping off point for what you can do. And then I keep all these sketches that I use for this. I keep them all the time and use them on additional cards in the future when I'm looking for a pattern. So we're just going to lay that side to side like a stripe on top of the blue. And then I need to take these two pieces. So this blue piece right here is in place of this gray one. It would fit right over that. But again, when I laid this on here, it felt like it got a little lost. So I am going to back it with a layer of Calypso Coral. I just think that makes it pop a little bit more. This is where I'm using my creative license with this sketch, and I cannot wait to see what you all come up with. And after all the entries are in, this will stay open until the 30th. So you have till midnight on the 30th. And then on the 1st, I will draw for a winner from all of the entries on this card to win a prize. So now you can see this is slightly bigger than what I had there because I added the extra layer. And I like the way it makes the blue pop. We're going to place this onto our card, okay? But before I do that, this whole layer is going to get popped up on dimensionals. So I want to add my little flags to the bottom of this, those 3 little flags, before I put it together. So right here we have 3 of them, a yellow and 2 Calypso Coral. And I'm just going to come up and flag each end on this, go up about 1/4 of an inch maybe in the middle, and then from each side to make a little flagged end. When I saw this sketch and I was playing with it and putting it together the way I wanted it, these little flags are what made me think of the hot air balloon. It just had that whole kind of party, country fair feel to it. And yeah, that was the first thing that came to mind, is to use that hot air balloon bundle. And so that is what I did. And you can see those cute little bokeh dots on there. Hopefully they're showing on camera. They really give these little banners and everything on the card kind of that surreal, light, summery feel, and I love that. All right, so there's our little banners. Let's get rid of our scraps here and toss them in my junk. Now we're going to lay these underneath the card, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to put some seal just across here like this on the back, on the bottom, and then I'm going to come in about 1/4 inch from the side maybe, and just lay my little banner. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other one on the other side. Come in about 1/4 inch, making sure they're pretty even on the bottom as far as how far they're sticking down and straight. Okay, so now we have those two. And then I'm going to add just a little bit more seal across the middle here. And we're going to add our third one. And this is going to come down further, so you can see it's hanging down below the other two. And I'm centering it and trying to keep it all pretty straight. All right, so there's our little banners for this card right at the bottom, like that. And now we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. And to make sure that this all kind of stays in place, I'm going to be sure to put some dimensionals behind that. So I'm going to place a dimensional here and a dimensional here, just catching the top of those flags. And we're going to place one here, one here, one here. This is a pretty big layer, so I'm going to put a few of them on here. It has to support the images we're going to add to it, and I don't want it squishing down, so we're going to use 7 dimensionals on this one, which is more than I usually use. This is true. Okay, so let's get rid of those, and we're going to place this onto our card, centered up here and hanging down onto that bottom section. Okay, so now that's very similar to our layout. This is a little crooked, that's a little crooked. Let's try that again. I'm going to pull it up. Didn't push it down too hard. I try and never push it down too hard until I've got it exactly how I want it, and that looked a little crooked. So let's try that again. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, so this is basically our sketch right here, as you can see. Okay, we're going to put that out of the way. Now let's put our balloons together. A lot of little pieces on here. So we are going to be using my silicone mat for this and a sponge. Remember I told you there's different ways to add adhesive, and the little cutout adhesives are great, that double stick paper. But this is also a great way to add adhesive to the back of your images when they are tiny and delicate like this. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of that glue on there. I'm going to pounce it so it spreads out onto my sponge. You can use a makeup dauber for a regular dauber, a makeup sponge for this. A lot of different things to add your glue to it. And we're going to take our piece here over to the side, and I am just going to dab that glue onto the back side of it. Okay, right on top of my silicone mat, because then any glue that gets between the pieces will just stick to the silicone mat, and I'll be able to pick it up later. And we're going to place this onto our hot air balloon. And this fits perfectly. Do I have it the wrong way? Nope, that is the right way, I think. Fits perfectly side to side. So you just kind of want to get it lined up where you want it. Give it a nice firm press. And then I'm going to flip this over and really push it down great so that it does not come off of my balloon. See how well that works? It's just amazing how you can add glue like that. We're going to do the same thing with our little basket here. And the first thing I'm going to do is come in here and place some of that glue down here on the basket portion, just the bottom. And then I'm going to grab my larger of the 2 little baskets, and we're going to line that up onto there and let it come up. So now we have our little basket behind the cords that hang on to it. And then I'm going to do the same thing up here in the top part of this, just across the top, because some of that string is going to be hanging down, and we're going to add these strings to our basket. And again, it fits perfectly side to side, and your little basket will touch right at the base of your balloon. And you have a little wiggle room with the glue, which is nice. So here is hot air balloon number 1, all decorated. And then we're going to do number 2. So we're going to grab the heart and grab this delicate edge that goes over the top of it and do the same thing. I'm going to add my glue, pounce it all over this one because this whole thing is going to be stuck to that base. And then we're just going to lay this onto our heart. And it does have a little bit of a border, so the part that goes in the middle is a little smaller than the heart that it goes onto. And once you get it laid down, tip it over, give it nice firm pressure so that it's on there, and then there is that little balloon, and we have the basket for that I'm going to add in the middle. I think that's all the pouncing I have to do. The coolest thing about this technique, I reuse this sponge all the time. I don't even rinse it out. It just stays tacky, and I keep it in a little bowl here. This has been used maybe 20 times. And when the glue dries on your silicone mat, like this is some I used earlier, you can just wipe it off with your fingers. So there is no mess. It'll just roll up and come off once it is dry. So I just let that dry on there and then peel it off, and then this is ready to go next time. So I love that technique for adding glue to the back of real detailed type dies, if that makes sense. Let's grab our other pieces here and see if we can finish this off. So we're going to take our large hot air balloon, And it looks like a couple little pieces of Designer Series paper got stuck under there while I was pouncing. And this is when I use my tweezers, and they are just pulled out and everything is fine and dandy right now. We're going to place this hot air balloon up here over in the corner, kind of coming off the edge of this layer. So I'm going to put my glue on maybe the bottom 2/3 of it and a little bit on my basket here. And then we can just pick this up and add it up here. And that way there's no glue on the part that's coming off on the top or the edge there. Okay, so there is balloon number 1. And then we're going to take our little clouds. So the clouds I cut out ahead of time. I'm sorry, I lost one up here. Let me grab it. There's 2 different sizes. So I cut out 2 of the larger ones and 1 of the smaller one. We're going to take 1 of the larger ones. And I'm going to just place some seal behind it. I use seal more than Tombow. I know some of you love Tombow, and you can use whatever adhesive works for you. I'm going to have this coming off the side of my sky here. There's no glue on the very end, coming off just to the edge here, like that. That way it feels like my whole little focal point here is continuing on beyond. And then I'm going to take this tinier cloud, and on the back of it we're going to add 2 mini dimensionals. And this is going to give us just a little bit more dimension on this scene that we're creating. It's actually a little hot air balloon scene, and I love that. So this reminds me of like paper dolls and things that you have to put the pieces together. If you don't like that, go ahead and use the set just as a stamped set, because I've done that before too. But I like this piecing of things sometimes just to create my little scene. So now we have a cloud laying in front of another cloud right there onto the front of our card. I'm going to take my other little basket and add some seal. You could also do a glue dot. That would work perfectly on the back of these little baskets. And we're going to place this right down here to the bottom of my scene like that. And then add some seal to the back of this heart balloon like that. And I'm going to come and place this so that the heart is touching each of those little sides of the basket and coming down in the middle. And it is also coming slightly off of my little design here. Pretty stinking cute. And then we need to add our last cloud. So I'm going to put my fingers on this end. I don't want any seal on that end. We're just going to do seal across the rest of it here. And this is going to lay over on this side coming off. Pretty cute. I love it. I love it. I love it. This was such a fun little design to put together that I think I'm going to make some more while I have everything out and can cut it today, because I think it's a fun card. Now we're going to use that Wish Big banner. And the way I'm going to use that is I am going to take my bone folder and I am going to curve it a little bit. So like I said, this Wish Big fits perfectly onto that large balloon if you wanted to just lay it on there. But I want to use it on my small balloon. And the way I'm going to do that is to curve it. So it's curved down now. I'm going to pull these little perforated flagged ends up just a little bit to get that dimension on them. And then we're going to place, and you've seen me do this before with banners, we're going to place a dimensional right in the middle, like that, and a glue dot on the back on each side right next to that perforation. So let's do one here, and I will show you this in a minute so you can see what I'm talking about. We'll do one here. Okay, so my glue dots are just inside of the perforation on each side. My dimensionals in the middle. I'm going to pull that backing off of there. And we're going to lay this over our heart balloon, just like this. I want enough of that heart balloon to show on the bottom so you can see it's a balloon. Okay. And then our little flagged ends come up on the Wish Big. And I just love that dimension it gives it and that curvature. Now this will all lay really flat in the card yet because I do not have dimensionals on top of dimensionals anywhere. So it's allowed to squish down as it goes through the mail, and that works great. And now we need to add a little bling. So let me grab my Rhinestone Basic Jewels, my all-time favorite bling if I have to add bling. And we're just going to use 5 of the littler gems and place them for a little sparkle in this sky. Now I'm trying not to place them right on top of dimensionals on here either, simply so it goes through the mail better. But these are so tiny that it probably wouldn't matter even if you did, to be honest. But I just love that little bit of sparkle that you get on here. We're going to place another one up here to the side, right next to that dimensional. And then it has to be 5. I have to have my odd number. So let's place one more kind of right here on my hot air balloon. What do you think, guys? This is our card. Now stick around. I'm going to show you what I did for my grandson's birthday on his. But it's basically this same card. This follows the sketch very well. So this nice little focal point area can be anything you want it to be. But again, this little element on here made me think of the hot air balloons, and I love how it came out. On the inside is our sentiment, up, up, and away. Hooray, it's your birthday. Yeah, I'll bring this back out and our recipe sheet in a minute, but let me show you my grandson's card. So it is, like I said, basically the same exact thing, except he's turning 12. So on all of my grandkids' birthday cards this year, I have been putting their ages on their cards. So at least for the little ones, not the ones in their 20s, but those that are teens and younger. So I just added the number 12. That was cut out with the dies from the birthday celebration dies right here, which has all the numbers. And just added it to the front of my balloon, and I love how it turned out. I think he's gonna love it too. So Cayenne's birthday is on the 30th, coming up soon, and he will be 12. Okay guys, I think that part is it. Let me get this back out. I'm gonna show you the sketch, and again, I will pin this and post it right here in this Facebook page and put it on my blog. Here is the recipe sheet with the card if you want to take a screenshot. I will also post this in the comments. I did make a note, so there's a little asterisk here and an asterisk here. Both of those are the extra 2 layers that I added to this sketch. So I added 2. Again, use this sketch loosely. Make it your own. I would love to see your creativity with it. Thanks for being with me today, guys. I hope you liked the project and some of the items I showed you. For $24 for this stamp set and dies, you cannot go wrong, guys. That is an amazing price. Don't forget to leave me your comments and your thoughts for a chance to win today's card. You have till tomorrow night to be entered. Remember, if you are part of the Global Inspiration Stamp Team group, that you should mark your calendars for May 9th and 10th for our upcoming event. And if you're not part of that group and are interested, drop me an email and we'll see if I can get you into it. Finally, I would love to have your business. If you are looking for any Stampin' Up! Products, or if you're interested in joining my Crazy Stamping Ladies team, or if you just have creative questions, let me know. I am here to be your creative coach. If you have any questions, any comments, or any concerns, let me know at my email, crazystampinglady@gmail.com. I do plan to be back here on Tuesday, same time, same place, with some more creative inspiration, and I will see you all then. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.